Time for another garden tour. It is June 11th. I have been gone for 3 weeks and the garden has exploded. I was vacationing. It was my honeymoon, so I didn't even get to see any of the progress, but it was a lot of fun to come back to all of this growth. So I'll give you a little tour. The beans are doing pretty good. This one got really tall, which is really exciting. I'm very proud. And these guys are looking really good. I forget what some of the names are, so I'll comment on names as I remember, but I'll have to go check which seeds I had that looked like this, but I'm super pumped. I think these might actually get even longer, so I might try one of these today and see how it tastes, and then maybe let one try to go even longer. I have my first ever marigold bloom, which is very exciting. Haven't seen any pods on the blue kidney beans yet, but it seems like everything else. Well, actually, I haven't seen any green beans yet. I also planted green beans, so far I've only seen like snap peas and snow peas, so we'll see if we get more. My flax is doing really well. Apparently this has kind of been opening and closing the blooms, possibly. Maybe trying to hide from the heat, not too sure. We have these little pods on the top, so I'm not sure if they're flowers or seeds, but I'm really excited because these have grown quite tall, and I actually really want to try making like a flax like fiber out of them, and like basically take the flax fiber and make it into a small piece of twine. So I have some flax here and over there. Hopefully I have enough to make like a little bit of twine to maybe support next year's trellis or something, but we'll see. I have some beets and carrots. They're slowly coming along. Not a ton of progress there. These sweet pea flowers really have been blooming well. Lots of strawberries growing. Some of them are a little funky looking. And some of them apparently are like getting soft and ripe and really sweet and juicy, but they're like half white. Like, I think I could probably eat this now and it'd be good, but I'll wait a little longer, see if they can get totally red, but that's what Cass was saying, so we'll see. And then these potatoes, I planted them in and they were these ghostly little white stalks, and they're doing pretty well, so that's very exciting. This is one of my favorite pieces, this borage flower. It's an annual flower, also a medicinal flower, known for kind of supporting your heart and courage and nervous system. And apparently the bees love it, and I've already noticed that so far. So pretty kind of crazy looking flowers, but I think it adds like such beautiful color in. So really pleased with that. I've got some holy basil that I want to make some tea out of. What's this one again? St. John's wort, so another medicinal herb that I'm growing. These lettuces have gotten so big. Like, look at how big that is. That's huge. This thing that's going to flower here, I believe, is radish. There's a possibility that there's some kale that's also flowering, but I think it's radish. We do have some kale next to it that's going pretty well. Some kale there and there. There's a lot of aphids on this one and a lot of damage, but today I'm gonna cut a bunch of these back and wash them off and put them in the freezer, and then I'm gonna like really do a good hose down of all the aphids down there, and then even if there's a few leaves left on it, it should come back, so that's exciting. Check this out, that peppermint is huge. I'll show you from the other side as well. Some more peas growing here. Oh, this one kind of tucked in is valerian. I'm actually growing it for the root. The root is medicinal. This is my mojito mint. It was all kind of diseased in that at one point it had a fungal infection on it, and I just kept slowly picking off the leaves, the kind of worst ones at a time, making sure to leave enough leaves that it could still like photosynthesize, and it has totally come back and it looks so good. So that's very exciting. Have my chives are kind of spreading everywhere. It's kind of funny, but the chives are doing really well. This tarragon is doing so well. I cut the head off it and it split in like a bunch of different ways here, so that's really doing well. It's bushing out pretty nicely. We have some blueberries over here, so this one, and then this one is even further along, so that's super exciting. Excited to get a small harvest. And then I've got some herbs over here doing super well. We have oregano and sage. These sage leaves are huge, oh my gosh. Got some creeping thyme in here. So this is non-edible, I'm pretty sure. You probably could eat it, but it's not gonna be as tasty as some other varieties of thyme. But it's starting to flower and it's really spreading well. And so I'm excited about that because I just want some ground cover in here between some of these perennials to keep out some weeds. So that's really been going well. Some more strawberries, some yarrow tucked in here. So this is the furthest along yarrow flower that I've found so far. Some more strawberries. Here's the other side of the peppermint. It's huge. I'm gonna dry a bunch of it for peppermint tea. Very excited about that. And then we've got some dill growing here. So it's almost wanting to start to go to flower. I might take the flowers off and just kind of let it keep trying to produce more foliage. But I'm also gonna go and clip a bunch of these off and then try to make a bunch of dried dill. So I don't have too many recipes that I use dill in yet, but I'm gonna try to dry a bunch while it's growing so well, and then I can learn over the winter, and then maybe next growing season I'll know how to use it fresh a little bit more. And I think, actually I haven't looked at this yet, but we have some more thyme in here. So let's see here. I think this was a culinary thyme that I put in, so it is a little bit different than the other one, maybe, or maybe this was the culinary thyme and it died. It's kind of hard to say. Got one radish. It's got a radish at the bottom there. I harvested a couple earlier as well, a couple really nice radishes, but I think I'm just gonna let some of these keep going so that I can have a bunch of radish seeds, which is really exciting. So yeah, crazy over here. All this progress, I'm so excited. And then over here, this rosemary bush is done flowering, but there's a ton of new growth on it, so I'll be drying a bunch of that as well. Then over here, this was like the slug and weed bed. There's still a lot of weeds, but I'm very happy. Some of my borage plants did survive. We have some more yarrow in here. This guy here is plantain, and this is the plantain leaf. It's kind of close to this other one, but they were all in another pot, and so I just wanted to plant them all close together so that hopefully they didn't get too disturbed. But this is skullcap, I believe, so another medicinal. And then this is fireweed, which I got from Fireweed Farms, funny enough. But I'm really happy that this one survived. Like, it was looking pretty bad at one point, but then shot up with a bunch of really healthy growth. And apparently you can make really nice tea out of these leaves. So I'm gonna try to do that. And then we have another calendula over here. There was some over there too, but the really exciting spot that we have calendula is over here, because I think this is our only one to go to flower. So I think this is also calendula. Look at how pretty. I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna harvest a few of these and make them into a calendula oil, which I then can make into some sort of like skincare product. Then we have some California poppies over here. Some of my raspberries that I brought over did die last summer, but two of Cass's are growing, so that's pretty exciting to see. And let's see what else. There's a lot of wildflowers over here. Bunch of lupins that are going to seed, so I'll probably try to collect a bunch of those seeds as well and see if I want to spread it around the garden at all. Not too sure what this one is yet. I'm gonna have to figure that out. And then I forget if I said, I think this is the California poppy, which have like such interesting shapes to them. Like some of them, I'm kind of a little confused by this. Like some of them are really small, and then some of them are these really tall kind of spears on them. But very interesting. Lots of interesting things to see in the garden. So I'm very proud of how much is growing, especially all over there. My little trellis is working, made out of twigs. I'm so excited that things are growing here. I'm excited to try to fill in a bunch of this as well, because the borage is an annual, so there's going to be lots of spaces here for next year, or perhaps I can go to the garden center and I might buy a few more established plants to kind of work them in, because it's exciting when you can kind of get a head start on things. But yeah, that's the garden tour update for June 11th of truly my second year gardening, because last year was just on a little patio garden. So I feel like it's good success so far already.